Hello and welcome all over the world. First, we'll see civilization over the ages. Millions of years ago, and without understanding anything about fire, mankind invented fire, and fire led to grill and cooking, leading to extra calories in food, which in turn led to the evolution of the prefrontal cortex of the hominid brain. Then Homo sapiens transitions from the Neolithic age in around 150,000 years ago to the Stone Age, then to the Copper Age, and finally to the Bronze Age after the invention of the technique of metal smelting. And that was our animal and savage heritage. History began in around 10,000 BC by the invention of the writing systems, a cuneiform tablet of Mesopotamia, and many more being discovered in the area. The Middle Ages is a time when religions began to prevail, and that was our cultural heritage. In around 16th century, the scientific method began to prevail in what is called the Renaissance and the Age of Enlightenment. Around 1764, a Scottish inventor, James Watt, made critical improvements in what is called the steam engine. Powered by coal mines, this engine in the 19th century marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Then at the end of the 19th century and early 20th century, Nikola Tesla, a Serbian scientist, invented the electric generator. In principle, the generator works by the effect of magnetic induction, the reason why the SI unit of magnetism has been named after him. In a massive breakthrough by Edwin Drake in 1859 near Titusville, Pennsylvania, oil has been discovered, and this discovery marked the beginning of a new civilization, a transition from coal to crude oil. Various engineers and scientists worked in early 20th century on what is called the internal combustion engine. Very important is Carl Friedrich Benz and of course Rudolf Diesel, both from Germany. Then the invention of the jet engine afterwards. Exclamation point. We saw that civilization passed on different stages, from firewood to coal to crude oil, and we know that oil is obsolete in the long run. And if you listen to my early video about the big argument, you will know that renewables, all forms combined, are inefficient and will never meet our consumptional demands. And this is actually calculated in details and by numbers. Early computers were the size of a building, then things began to become smaller and even faster. Same thing for transistors in integrated circuits and electronics. This is what's called the information revolution and or the telecom revolution. This is not a metal slug. This is actually an engine. It's a nuclear-powered engine, a small one, very small in comparison to a nuclear reactor. How far are we from building a nuclear-powered engine, the size that can be fitted into a car or an airplane, etc.? Let's see. This is Yamal, an icebreaker sea ship. Yamal has 271 megawatt nuclear reactors and motors with 55 megawatt according to the source. You might say this is exceptional for icebreakers. This is NS Savannah, the first commercial nuclear-powered cargo vessel passing under the Golden Gate Bridge in 1962, according to the source. Which means a nuclear-powered engine the size of a small room is already an option in sea ships, whether for tourism like floating hotels or for the military. A proposed criteria for a plane in order to achieve what is called the democratization of flying. 1. Aeronautics is the only sector and the final one left without automation. The automated production and flying licenses should be hand in hand, otherwise workers will lose their jobs, and this in turn will lead to economic recessions. The plane should contain safety systems like parachutes, equivalent to airbags, without changing the design we are accustomed to. Should be pacific, which means it should not be loaded with ammunition. No need to be supersonic, no need to be pilotless like drones, remotely controlled, and very bad and unsafe in design. Flexible when lifting off and landing, like helicopters are possible, but keeping the design of a passenger plane, we should make it vertical takeoff plane. Doesn't make much noise, like airships, or maybe by doing technical improvements cancelling the noise. If the plane is amphibian, the wings should be able of opening and closing, or at least are extensional. Must be powered by nuclear engines in order to sustain the extra demand on production and energy. The size and capacity should be around 5 to 200 passengers, calculated in a table like this one, but that will raise economic questions about natural resources, like how much aluminum, uranium, arm power, and even time do we have on a planet. Earth for sale will not fix economics, nor space, nor anything. Thank you.